Doki Doki the Dark Rainclouds is a Doki Doki Literature Club mod that is not affiliated with Team Salvato. It is designed to be played only after completing the official game, and it contains spoilers from the official game. The original game files are required to play this mod, and can be downloaded for free at that place by playing Doki Doki the Dark Rainclouds. You agree that you have completed Doki Doki Literature Club and accept any spoilers it contains. No, continue where I left off? What? I think that's probably intentional, because this mod it picks up at the end of Act 1 when the thing happens, but maybe the thing doesn't precisely happen that way. Sup, Italian, welcome to the Dark Rainclouds. Another mod for me to play and get my thoughts on it. So, we'll see how it goes. I don't know how long it is. It's only a demo. We're gonna play and see what happens, I suppose. Presumably, some dark stuff. I want to say there's like a CG of Monica getting choked. Do you really want to hear the same story again? I've told it to you several times already. Better read it on your own. That old diary must be around here somewhere. Oh, come on. I love the way you tell it. It's much better. At least one more time. All right, but this will be the last time. Just let me jog my memory a bit. It's been some time since that little tragedy happened. All right, I know it's annoying, but the story is interesting, especially when you tell it in a good sense, or the good sense, I mean. Yeah, the things that happened between that boy and the girl were, let's say that disturbing is putting it mildly. But you already know that. Let's start from the beginning. A Monday morning, to be more specific. You feel like you don't need the period if the yawn is all that's happening. Ugh. A new day begins, and with it, many things to do. The sunlight gently touches my face with its light warmth, causing my eyes to gradually open. My hands push aside the blankets that held me in a soft prison as my legs swing out of bed. I get up from my bed and look at the time on my wall clock. 7:15 a.m. What wall clock, my dude? It's still a bit early, but there's no point in going back to bed. Though there's also the possibility that if I fall asleep again, I might not wake up for another 2 hours. So without much hurry and still partially drowsy, I head to the bathroom. I mean, I guess there are two other walls we can't see. Still sleepy, I turn on the faucet. Water flows into the sink. My brain goes into a trance listening to the sound it makes. At the same time, I feel a slight sense of unease, as if I'm momentarily forgetting something important. Maybe there's something I need to remember, but for now I can't imagine why. Sayori. Doubts, questions, and fears come to me. I cut my hands under the faucet. I let the cold water fill them and splash it all over my face. A bit of cold water always works to stop wanting to go back to sleep and just to clear the mind a bit. I look at myself in the mirror for a moment while drying my hands with my pajamas. Everything that happened comes back to my mind, even that moment with Sayori. I have a lot to think about, especially since yesterday. Yesterday it was quite intense in more than one sense. But there are also things I wish I hadn't lived through. Through ends with a GH? Through? No. These were just the tip of the iceberg. Our talk, her confession, her feelings, and my words. Things will be like before. Those words I said to her still haunt my mind. Oh, is this thing just like lagging out a bit? I don't know. Ever since Sayori confessed her depression to me, and after what happened yesterday, I can't stop thinking about what I could do. This is my deserve. Especially because her way of thinking isn't very healthy, and you didn't have to be a psychologist to notice it. After all, I still want to do everything I can for her, but I can't think of any way to even cheer her up. Giving her too much attention would only make her feel worse, wouldn't it? Surely there must be some way to help her. Or at least to keep her feelings from worsening, but what? My head tries to solve these doubts as I leave the bathroom and return once more to my room. As I enter, the first thing my eyes are drawn to is a calendar, which indicates what day it is today. Oh, is that what calendars do? Monday, the day of the festival. The whole club is working hard to attract new members at the festival event. But I must show interest if I want to avoid suspicion, especially from Sayori. Maybe her mood will improve a bit if this whole festival thing goes well. So it's settled. I'll give my best effort at the festival, even if it's just for Sayori. With that in mind, I decide to start getting ready as my mind continues searching for other answers. The uniform is uncomfortable and impractical. Luckily, this will be the last year I'll have to wear it. Anyway, I have to put it on. School rules require me to wear it. They wouldn't let me in otherwise. Well, when I go to university, maybe I won't be forced to wear a uniform. I wonder if I'll be able to go to university with Sayori. Though maybe I should think about getting Sayori to a professional to try to address her Rainclouds. But this possibility fades when I remember that my money wouldn't be enough to pay for a private psychologist. And I doubt any psychologist would agree to treat a minor without parental consent. But then what should I do? Should I call her parents? Do they even know about this in the first place? I mean, she's their daughter. Of course they must know. But if they knew, why would they leave Sayori alone at home for so long? And if I called Sayori's parents, wouldn't I be betraying the trust Sayori is placing in me by sharing her problems? I try to think a little more, trying to mentally resolve this situation. But the only thing I can think of is to take care of Sayori until her parents come back, but that would mean waiting until Christmas. Overwhelmed, I set the matter aside for the moment, and my eyes fix on the wall clock. 7:35 a.m. While changing out of my pajamas into my uniform, another thought briefly comes to mind. Monica's first poem. What did she call it? A hole in the wall, right? Actually, I think it was just hole in wall, but I can't remember now. And if I think it means what I think it means, then that's not a good sign. Well, of course, what you think it means is what you think it means. What you're trying to say is if it means what I think it means. I should have guessed that from the moment I walked through the doors of that cursed club, I was being watched. I'm already dressed in my uniform. I leave my room and go downstairs. In just a few seconds, I'm already on the first floor. It seems everything is still where it's always been, including the silence my parents left behind when they went to work in another city. Silence I've gotten used to. Maybe it sounds a bit dramatic to think like that, but it's the truth. Sometimes I miss them, but I understand that they do this for me and my studies, so I can accept it. But I don't know if that justifies the only times I see them being during New Year's or Christmas. Maybe it's better to set that thought aside. I don't need to start festival day like this. Maybe a good breakfast will help me set aside this sudden melancholy. Alright, back to what I was doing. I go to the kitchen and head to the fridge in search of something for breakfast. When I open it, a semi-cold breeze greets me, accompanied by a fridge full of microwave meals and packaged products. I decide to grab one of those frozen dinners and a bottle of yogurt for breakfast. Looking down a bit, I notice a tray that particularly catches my attention. It's a tray with about 15 cupcakes decorated in pink with a cat-themed design. Looking into the feline eyes of those cupcakes, several memories come back to me. Some pleasant, others awkward. Natsuki's arrival, the incident with the frosting, my bold act toward the frosting on her finger. What an idiot I am. I must apologize to Natsuki when I see her. It was nice spending time with Natsuki, but after all that, I talked to Sayori about her feelings. I opened the yogurt and let its cold content calm my thoughts a little. Cold contents. Dots. That same day I gave her an answer. What Sayori told me on Saturday and what happened at the entrance of her house. When I saw her face, it just looked fake. Honestly, I have no idea how to describe it because I had never noticed it in her before. Drinking from the bottle to try to deal with this situation isn't helping. It's like being a drunk trying to drown his sorrows, though thinking about it that way doesn't help either. I wish I had real liquor to clear my mind a bit. That is not what liquor does. I hoped my answer had been the best. I didn't want to hurt Sayori. Maybe it's an issue beyond my grasp, but I'll do everything I can to be there. While I can't do much for her, I don't want to worsen something I'm planning to solve. Maybe I should hurry. I don't want to ruin the morning with something I can't fix right now. Although it's a fact that I intended to do something about it. Something will come to me. I approach the oven in the kitchen with the microwave dinner still in my hands. I have to admit, it's kind of ironic. I have plenty, if not many, frozen dinners that are supposed to go in the microwave. But I don't have a microwave. The closest thing I have is the oven that comes with most kitchens. I guess this is really more of like, a toaster or something like that. There is no microwave pictured, that's for sure. Now that I think about it, I have no idea how I've survived this way until now. With no cooking skills and relying only on commercially flavored dinners, maybe that's beside the point. At least I have something to eat. You know, the frozen dinners do usually have, like, oven options for how to cook them as well. It's just the microwave is always faster. Let's get to it then. I put the yogurt bottle down on the kitchen counter and open the oven. I place the packaged food inside the oven, not without first removing the plastic wrapping. A mistake I learned from when my first meal turned out very plasticized. Though now that I think about it, I was very lucky. Most of the plates the dinners came in were sturdy enough not to melt. It must have been luck, or else I would have learned another lesson about instant meals. Anyway, I set the oven to 300 degrees and the timer to 5 minutes. With this, the typical electric hum from the oven tells me it's now on. I step away from the oven while grabbing the cold yogurt bottle from the counter again. The rhythmic tick-tick-tick of the timer is the only thing interrupting the silence. It's a little annoying. My mind goes back once more to the tray of cupcakes. The memories that come with it involuntarily begin to play in my mind. But my mind only replays the moments when I talked to Sayori yesterday. Those fateful memories. Sayori. She was at her lowest point, a point where it seemed there was no way back, and I gave her an answer that I thought would be the right one. Or so I thought, until she showed me a smile that deep down I already understood didn't convey genuine happiness.
I get it. Tomorrow's the festival, so we have to prepare for the club activity. Good boy, Hallie.
She starts to turn around with the intention of going back into her house. I can't just let her leave, not at a moment like this. I have to do something, I said aloud. I don't know what to say to her, but it doesn't matter. I have to stop her. Sayori, My courage quickly falters when I see that Sayori doesn't even look at me. Just say something, for God's sake. Whatever comes to mind. That's what came to my mind at that moment. I'll come for you in the morning, and you'll see that tomorrow will be a great day. Or you could even go somewhere after the festival, like in the old days.
No need. I'll be at the club in the morning, and we'll gather many more movers, then I'll go home. You'd better spend that time with Yuri and Natsuki. I'm sure they'd love it.
The voice Sayori used to say this was the same voice she always used at school. Her words sounded so real that I didn't know if it was another lie or the truth. She remained without looking at me as she gently freed her hand from my grasp. Yeah, you should probably, drop the name tag off of any box that isn't or not speaking. My courage had... Auto-ending text boxes, they're back for more. My courage had vanished as I watched her walk away. Well, first of all, you don't need a punctuation to end the sentence if it's just getting cut off. And second of all, just slow it down. CPS 25 is usually enough to, let the person read it before it poofs. Damn it. The sound of the timer abruptly pulls me out of my memories. This is just gonna keep happening, isn't it? By the time I realize it, the yogurt bottle I had in my hand is already falling to the floor. And of course, I forgot the fact that the bottle was made of glass. Who gets bottles of yogurt in glass? Is this like a British thing? I did notice they were talking about university, and that's usually like Britain, because it's college in the US. As expected, it produces a loud final crash, and a mess on the kitchen floor. I have to clean that up when I get back, but I'd better focus on the oven. With a pair of oven mitts, I take out my food and place it on the table. The pleasant smell of freshly heated, questionable quality food lifts my mood a bit. Now, where did I leave that thing? If you're gonna do that, it's probably better to put the question mark after the ellipse. But I don't know, maybe that's just a style choice. It only takes me a few seconds to find the metal tray I used to keep the plate from burning me through my clothes. And that tray has seen many birthday parties of a much younger me. Very introspective, this MC. Every time I use it, it's a little nostalgic. It's like a relic of better times. Good times when my hands were still clean of blood. What do you mean, clean of blood? Using both hands in the protection of the oven mitts, I put the food, still quite hot, onto the tray. Leaving aside the mitts, tray, and the spoon I had previously grabbed, I head to the living room. Specifically to the couch in front of the television. When I arrive, I see the remote control waiting for me on the seat. After a few seconds of getting comfortable, I place the tray on my lap and turn on the TV with the remote. When it turns on, a female voice in the middle of a report on the news is the first thing that appears. In other news, meteorologists predict that in the next few hours a major storm will manifest in the country's central region. Authorities advise people within the storm's range to stay home until further notice. Experts state that the storm's strength could cause significant damage to various structures, and several airports have cancelled their domestic flights. Meanwhile, in other news... Without stopping to pay attention to the other news the reporter was sharing, I put a spoonful of the slightly steaming food into my mouth, its industrial/commercial taste flooding my palate. Minutes pass, and the news continues with almost nothing relevant. I decide to turn off the TV, and with the tray still in hand, I take the package and spoon back to the kitchen, leaving all three to their fate. Or at least until I get back from school. In the meantime, I check the clock once more. 8:25 a.m. The festival should start at 9. I think I should start hurrying. I take the tray of cupcakes out of the fridge and do a quick check to make sure I didn't forget anything, especially because it would be a huge problem if I had to go back for something. Poem ready. Cupcakes ready. Keys ready. Yep, all set. I leave through the front door and lock it, then I put the key in my pocket. Now I'm ready to start this day. As I walk away from the house, my gaze stays fixed on Sayori's house. Unavoidably, memories start flooding my mind.
I'll be at the club in the morning, and we'll gather many more members. Then I'll go home. You'd better spend the time with Natsuki. I'm sure she'd love it.
I wonder, will she still be at home, or will she be at school with the other girls like she said? Should I check if she's home? Maybe she's already left earlier than me. I could go check if she's still asleep. It shouldn't be a problem. No, she's probably already with the girls. I have no reason to doubt her. Right? There's also the possibility that she stayed asleep again. But it's Sayori. I trust her, and if she said she'd be at the club early, maybe she really is there. I push the doubts from my mind and resume my walk towards school. Dots. I don't know what's going on, but every step I take is accompanied by a feeling of guilt that doesn't leave me alone. Because of this, I've been slowing down with every meter I manage to advance. Okay, yeah, this is definitely UK. I haven't even reached 2 streets. Sayori, but what's wrong with me? I promised her things would be like they always were, and that things should include waiting for her and you going to the festival together. But look at me doing the same thing I always did, not caring about Sayori or her feelings. The seconds passed. But you know what? I prefer my best friend over a stupid event. But before going to her, I'll have to think of an excuse to show up at her house. If I tell her I was worried about her, I think I'd only make things worse. Just tell her you want to walk to school together. After thinking of some excuses, I couldn't come up with anything decent. Oh, come on, bro. And then my gaze landed on one of the festival cupcakes. I think bringing her a cupcake wouldn't be a bad idea. But I guess I'll also have to come up with an excuse to tell Natsuki why a cupcake is missing. But then I'd also have to think of another excuse for why I was late to the festival, and then I'd... this bad habit of overanalyzing is still here. Stop overthinking. It just go into her house and see if she's still there, and if not, just leave. I decided I turn around and start heading to a new destination, Sayori's house.